This movie's pretty good, but it would have been even better if the people sitting next to me didn't have the worst theater etiquette of all time. Hey guys, it's been a while, but I'm back, and I'm back from seeing Spider Man Brand New Day. And I hate to say it, but this is probably one of my worst theater experiences of all time, because the people to my left were actually abysmal. There was a crying toddler, and in the middle of one of the most poignant scenes in the movie, had me at the brink of tears, and then I see a flash to my left because the people to my left were, for some reason, taking a cuddle selfie during one of the most emotional moments of the movie. And they didn't even take one. They took three. They took three selfies with the flash on, and I was actually so annoyed. I would have really enjoyed this movie a lot more, but unfortunately, they were terrible. The toddler had to go in and out of the movie theater like 5 different times during the entire thing. It was so annoying. I should have been outside like this.
Can't wait for this
Man, of course.
Hey, one second. Y'all here to see a Spider-Man movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to lay down some rules real fast because I see you got a baby with you.
Okay.
Rule number one, that baby is not coming in.
What?
So you can leave him on the ground,
What are you talking
or
about?
y'all can go home and have nap time, huh?
What are you talking about?
I said that baby's not coming in. You deaf?
You work here?
No, I don't, but I work for the people, and I'm making sure the
Who
Spider-Man
are
experience
you?
is not ruined. I'm Peter Parker, bitch, as long as you
But
concerned.
you're black.
Well, I'm Miles Morales then. You and the baby not
Man.
coming in, regardless of who
whatever,
I am.
man. I don't need.
Yeah,
I
all
don't
right.
need this.
Okay, cool.
I came into this movie with a mindset a little different than how I usually do when it comes to Marvel movies. Marvel is in this really weird state right now where the movies are kind of disconnected tonally. I feel like in the past, MCU movies have their own specific tone depending on the phase. Like, if you give me a Marvel movie, I could probably guess what phase it's from based on how the movie just feels. And recently, every single one of them has just kind of been hit or miss, so I don't really have any expectations coming into them, or pretty low expectations. Spider-Man, however, is an exception because I am always looking forward to Spider-Man content. Spider-Verse is my all-time favorite comic book movie, and the John Watts trilogy is good. I don't know why it's such a hot take to say it is, but I really like them. And so when I came into this movie, I was pretty hyped. Also, I was pretty hyped because content creators that got early screenings of this movie hyped it up a lot. They were saying about how this was their ideal Spider-Man. Like, it's the most comic book accurate, the feel, the look, everything about it. And I was kind of underwhelmed, but that's also because my expectations were blown out of proportion. I'm not saying the movie is bad by any means. It's honestly pretty good. I just think that I probably should have went into the movie like any other, a Marvel movie, and I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. Also, I would have enjoyed it a lot more if my theater wasn't absolutely abysmal. Anywho, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a pretty good movie. People online have also been praising it, mainly emphasizing the fact that it does Spider-Man really well. Like, every aspect of him, they really focus on that aspect. But honestly, my favorite part of the movie is the Peter Parker stuff. Peter Parker, his story, his character arc is the emotional core. It is the most compelling part, and I enjoyed it a lot. We have never seen Tom Holland's Spider-Man quite like this before. I think this movie does a really good job at characterizing Peter in this point of his life, because never has Peter been this lonely before. He's always had somebody in his corner, somebody that's there to support him in case he breaks. But now that he doesn't have anybody, he has to deal with all these issues alone, and that causes a lot of mental distress on him. The narrative does a really good job at connecting that internal conflict with his duties as Spider-Man, because any problem or issue that Spider-Man faces, it's stemming from the internal conflicts coming from Peter Parker's life. The bad thing is, this movie takes a really long time to get that juicy, emotional depth from Peter, because the movie is really slow. The biggest issue I have is the pacing, because in the first half, it is not really that interesting. I wasn't really invested into the story until halfway through, because that's when it really hits its stride. And the movie spends a good chunk setting up Peter's powers, Peter's mental health, the villain. And let's talk about the villain. The villain is honestly really interesting in the beginning, and then I kind of got less interested in her. But her story was really intriguing in the final act. They spent a lot more time on it. But I wish they spent a little more time. They do a good job at tying her story back to Peter's conflict. And honestly, that makes her a little bit more compelling. And I really like how they resolve the conflict, and resolved her character. And I really don't want to, I'm trying really hard not to spoil anything. But yeah, I think she could have just been spent a little more time on. And they also do this really dumb cliche at the end that I didn't really like, but we'll just stop right there with the villain, because I don't really want to spoil anything. Another thing I really liked about this movie is its emotional beats. You can really feel the impact on how each character feels and changes throughout the story, and because of its slow nature, the audience gets to sit with those feelings a lot longer, and that really hits. And paired up with the phenomenal writing this movie has, makes some of the scenes really gut-wrenching. And this one scene in particular had me at the brink of tears until somebody decided to freaking take 3 selfies with the flash on, because why not? Why not do that in the movies? I'm just going on a rant. Anywho, this movie is also pretty well directed. The action scenes are fluid. There are camera movements that I think are really creative and engaging to watch. This movie looks absolutely incredible. The cinematography is outstanding. I really like how the look of New York in this movie, the colors are a little unsaturated, so it makes Spider-Man's colors, the blue and the red, pop a lot more, and the lighting's pretty nice. Overall, I think the movie is pretty solid. The Spider-Man stuff is pretty neat and cool and all, but what I'm really here for is the Peter Parker stuff. That's what makes this movie so good. So I'm gonna give Spider-Man Brand New Day a 8 out of 10. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I think this review is somewhat kind of sloppy because I didn't really have all of my thoughts written out neatly. I kind of just had a couple notes and said what I said. So there's a bunch of pauses, and I will really want to try getting better at that and getting better at articulating. So, I'll try my best. I also saw The Odyssey. I've seen a bunch of movies. I just didn't have the time to review them because of school and graduation and vacation and all of that. So, and a bunch of other hobbies that I've gone into. But, now that I have some time, I will, get back into this hobby. But yeah, Odyssey review will be next because I really want to talk about that. And yeah, see you in the next video.